Democratic socialism. Socialism is another contribution of Nehru to India. He put the country on the road towards socialist pattern uh, of society, but Nehru socialism is democratic socialism. B.R. Ambedkar was a versatile personality. He was the architect of Indian Constitution, a custodian of social justice, and a champion of socialism and state planning. Ambedkar's writings included ancient Indian commerce, a thesis submitted to the Columbia University for the award of the Master of Arts degree in 1915, National Dividend of India, a historical and analytical study. A thesis for each was awarded PhD. His thesis was published as The Evolution of Provincial Finance in British India, a study of the provincial decentralization of imperial finance. Ambedkar's thesis on provincial decentralization of imperial finance in British India was accepted for the MSc degree in 1921, and his thesis The Problem of the Rupee was accepted for the award of the DSc degree by the London School of Economics in 1923. It is a miracle that RBI was conceptualized as per the guidelines presented by Ambedkar in his book The Problem of the Rupee, its origin and its solution. The main economic ideas of Ambedkar may be studied under four broad headings: financial economics. Much of the hard work done by the Ambedkar during his stay abroad, mostly during the period 1913 to 1923, was in the field of finance economics. Ambedkar divided the evolution of provincial finance into three stages: budget by assignment 1871 to 72, the 1876 to 77, budget by assigned revenue 1877 to 78, 1881 to 82, and budget by shared revenues 1882 to 83 to 1920 to 1921. Agricultural economics. In 1918, Ambedkar published a paper Small Holding in India and Other Remedies, citing Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations. He made a fine distinction between consolidation of holdings and enlargement of holdings. Economics of caste. Ambedkar believed that caste was an obstacle to social mobility. It resulted in social stratification. He was of the firm view that individuals must be free to change their occupations. Moreover, the caste system caused social tensions. The caste system has resulted in the absence of social democracy in India as distinct from political democracy. Ambedkar was a socialist. He was a champion of state socialism. He advocated the nationalization of key industries and suggested state ownership of land and collective farming. He was for state monopoly of insurance business. Not only that, he advocated compulsory insurance for every citizen. There is no doubt that Ambedkar was a great economist, but his academic work as an economics was eclipsed by his greater contributions in the field of law and politics. Above all, he was a great social reformer. Case J.C. Kumarappa. Joseph Chelladurai Kumarappa was born on 4th January 1892 in Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu, a pioneer of rural economic development theories. Kumarappa is credited for developing economic theories based on Gandhism, a school of economic thought. He coined Gandhian economics. Kumarappa strongly supported Gandhi's notion of village industries and promoted village and industries associations. Kumarappa worked to combine Christian and Gandhian values of trusteeship, non-violence, and a focus on human dignity and development in place of materialism as the basis of his economic theories. While rejecting socialism's emphasis on class war and force in implementation, he also rejected the emphasis on material development, competition, and efficiency in free market economics. Gandhi and Kumarappa envisioned an economy focused on satisfying human needs and challenges while rooting out socio-economic conflicts, unemployment, poverty, and deprivation. Kumarappa worked as a professor of economics at the Gujarat Vidyapith in Mohammadabad while serving as the editor of Young India. During the Salt Satyagraha, he founded the All India Village Industries Association in 1935 and was imprisoned for more than a year during the Quit India movement. He wrote during his imprisonment in Economy of Permanence, The Practice and Precepts of Jesus and Christianity, its work, 1945, and Christianity, its Economy and Way of Life, 1945. Several of Gandhi's followers developed a theory of environmentalism. Environmentalism. Kumarappa took the lead in a number of relevant books. In 1930s and 1940s, historian Ramachandra Guha calls Kumarappa the Green Gandhian, portraying him as the founder of the modern environmentalism in India. Kumarappa worked for the Planning Commission of India and the Indian National Congress to develop national policies for agriculture and rural development. He also traveled to China, Eastern Europe, and Japan on diplomatic assignments and to study their rural economic systems. According to P.R. Brahmananda, the great trinity of the pre-independent and post-independent Indian economies consisted of D. D.R. Gadgil, C.N. Vakil, and V.K.R.V. Rao. These scholars were imbibed with the missionary zeal and analyzed the Indian economic problems with a view to designing and propagating economic policies and plans to India's national advantage. V.K.R.V. Rao was a prolific writer. V.K.R.V. Rao was deeply interested in three large themes. They were national income, food, nutrition, and distribution of goods, and employment and occupational distributions. National income methodology. As an applied economist, Rao's name is remembered for his pioneering work on the enumeration of national income in India. Rao was a pupil of J.M. Keynes and he worked with Colin Clark. H.W. Singer considered VKRV Rao as the best equipped of all Keynes pupils. He attended he attempted to develop the national income concepts suited to India and developing countries generally, and to analyze the concepts of investment, saving, and the multipliers in an underdeveloped economy, and to study the compatibility of the national incomes of industrialized and underdeveloped countries. Rao's paper on full employment and economic development was one of the earliest contributions in the field of development towards employment. International food aid. Rao was influential in creating ideas and shaping policy in the international attack on world poverty, not only through his contributions to the question of international aid and improved flows of external resources, but also through his activities in the field of food aid. Support for socialism. During the early phases of planning in India, Rao supported the case of a socialist India where the state would control the commanding heights of the economy and the public sector would play a dominant role in economic development. Rao's view on industrialization. In his pamphlet, What is Wrong with Indian Economic Life? Rao gave the following reasons for low per capita income and low levels of per capita nutrition in India, uneconomic holdings with subdivisions and fragmentation, low levels of water availability for crops, excess population pressure on agriculture due to the absence of a large industrial sector, absence of capital, absence of autonomy in currency policy, and in general in monetary matters encouraging holding of gold. Village clusters. Rao felt that the rural communities had to be given a viable base. Therefore, he suggested that a cluster of villages would form a unit for rural development so that both the social and economic interactions between villages could develop and they could effectively generate and fashion their own development with a more meaningful participation by people. Rao's examination of the interrelation between investment, income, and multiplier in an underdeveloped economy was his major contribution to macroeconomic theory. As a thinker, teacher, economic advisor, and direct policy maker, VKRV Rao followed the footsteps of his great teacher, John Maynard Keynes. He founded three national level research institutes, namely Delhi School of Economics, Institute of Economic Growth, both at Delhi, and Institute of Social and Economic Change, Bangalore. Justice Party, Kamaraj Periyar's rural economic plans or programs. Mhm.